around with a horn case in the studio. We thinking this, man, this the baddest saxophone player probably around. He held himself up, came in there like, ain't say hardly nothing. Spoke, that's it. We thinking this dude is a bad horn player. Saxophone case. Pulled open that saxophone case one day, it was a bar. He on his tongue, it is wise. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I mean, it is much better to reprove than to be angry secretly. You hear that? It's much better to be reproved than you walking around with this grudge and this anger and nobody know about it. You're gonna hurt yourself. He that professes his fault shall be preserved from hurt. You know, you professes the things that you've done wrong shall be preserved from hurt. So if you don't, you're gonna be hurt. I'm telling you. Keep it inside if you want to. How good is it when thou art reproved to show repentance? When you show that that's wrong, to show repentance. Ask for the Most High for forgiveness. For so shall thou escape willful sin. See? You're going to escape willful sin, doing the things that you know is wrong, and you do what's wrong, and then you're going to go to the Most High and say, forgive me. When he said what? Hebrews 10:26. Willful sin, right? For if we sin willfully, as it just said, showing you how to escape willful sin. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, the knowledge of the Most High's truth, which is defined in Psalms 119, 142. Y'all should know how to sing this with me perfectly. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. And Mashiach came back. For all you to think that Mashiach is the truth, he's giving you the understanding from the Old Testament, what I just read from in St. John 14:6. And he actually said, I am the way to show you how to follow the truth, which is the laws of the Most High, that's going to lead to everlasting life. And no man come to the Father but by me. So he's saying, Hebrews 10:26, but if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, you know what the truth is? You know the laws of the Most High? There remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. You hear that? Mashiach say, my blood don't cover you. You hear Christians all say, the blood of Jesus. And you're a Gentile? And you sinning willfully? And you doing the things that the Most High said not to do? He said, I ain't no going to the Most High on your behalf. Ain't no more sacrifice for sins. He was the ultimate sacrifice. His precious blood was shed for the 12 tribes of Israel. Sins. He said, I am not going to the Most High on your behalf. This is what it says. But a certain fearful, meaning being afraid, being scared, looking for a judgment. Judgment. Judgment is what? The punishment for breaking the Most High's laws. But a certain fearful, looking for of judgment and fiery indignation. He coming with that fire, y'all, which shall devour the adversaries, the enemies, because you're not the friends of the Most High. You're not the friends of Mashiach Yahushua if you're not doing what he say do. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. Do what I say do. So you become the enemy of Mashiach Yahushua. You don't do what he say do. Point blank. No ifs or buts about it. So, what are you going to do? You're going to change? Because he quote Numbers 15 and 30. Numbers 15 and 30. That's why I say when you look at the New Testament as it's called, so that people can relate to it, Mashiach only had the law and the prophets. That's all he had to go by. Let's see what he's quoting from. Give you an understanding though. Numbers 15 and 30. But the soul of the person that doeth aught presumptuously, sinning willfully, whether he be born in the land or a stranger, the same reproaches the Most High. You disgrace the Most High. And that soul shall be cut off from among his people. So I'm not saying, I ain't going to the Most High on your behalf. He already said, I'm going to cut you off. That's why we got to be on point. We have to be on point. We have no choice. Proverbs 16 chapter. Proverbs the 16th chapter. Let's look at Proverbs 16 and verse 28. A froward man soweth strife. Hear what it said? A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separateth chief friends. Whispering in somebody's ears, talking about them. You've been friends all this time. Next thing you know, whispering in your ear. Now you ain't the friends no more. You're not friends no more. That's why a whisperer is not cool. It talks about that. And a froward man soweth strife. So you ain't supposed to be froward. People think it's okay. That's not okay. It's not okay, y'all. Don't get it twisted. Let's look at this froward. I went over this before in dealing with this because it's very important that we see how the Most High feel about certain things in scriptures so that we don't get caught up in the wrong spirit or following the wrong spirit and end up going to hell with them. Like I was always saying, I have. You can go to hell any way you want to, but don't try and take me with you. You know? That's real talk. So, when you look at the froward man, listen to what it says in Proverbs 8 and 13. Because we just read about the froward, right? He says, he said in Proverbs 16:28, a froward man soweth strife, right? That's strife between a mate. Proverbs 8. How the Most High feel about them? Proverbs 8 and 13. The fear of the Most High is to hate evil. Hear that? The fear of the Most High is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way. And the froward mouth do I hate. You hear that? The froward mouth do I hate. That's why I look at Proverbs 6 and 12. So must I hate a froward mouth. It says, Proverbs 6 and 12, a naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. It causes strife. Arguments all the time. Proverbs 22 and 5. Most High hate them. Proverbs 22 and 5. Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. Hear that? Thorns and snares, traps, are in the way of the froward. He that does keep his soul shall be far from them. Hear that? You're going to keep your soul. You're going to be far from them. Going back to Proverbs 16:28. A froward man who the Most High hate. Soweth strife. Don't sow arguments all the time. And strife between brothers, causing offenses and division. We say avoid them. And a whisperer separated chief friends. Hear that? A whisperer separated chief friends. Best of friends. Now somebody whispered in your ear. Now you following what they saying. A violent man You so angry, entices his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. Hear that? A violent man entices his neighbor and leadeth him into a way that is not good. Might be violent, next thing you know, in a deal some kind of madness, and you end up going down right with him. He shutteth his eyes to devise forward things. He shutteth his eyes to devise forward things, moving his lips to bringeth evil to pass. You hear that? His words, he already caused strife, arguments and stuff. He moving his lips, his words, to bring evil to pass. Verse 32. He that is slow to anger, know how to control himself, is better than the mighty. Hear that? He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. And he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. You know how to move your spirit? You know how to control yourself? Have control of yourself? You better than someone that can take a whole city down. That's discipline. Proverbs 25 and 28. Proverbs 25 and 28. He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. You like a city that have no security. Somebody just come in and take over anytime. That's what he's saying. He that have no rule over your own spirit, you can't control your spirit. You angry all the time. You got malice, hatred, wrath, envy, jealousy, pride. That's what it goes to. Pride. He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down, a city that's broken down and without walls, without security. The walls is your security. You have no security. No security at all. To protect yourself. Because you're not pleasing the Most High. Because you are doing the things that are contrary to what we're going over here. That's why it's about change. Ecclesiasticus, first chapter. Ecclesiastes, the first chapter. And we're going to look at verse 22. Ecclesiasticus, first chapter. Becoming a new creature. Being born again according to your mind, the way you think, the way you speak, the way you act in righteousness. Or you're going to be dealt with as it is written. We had Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, and verse 22. A furious man cannot be justified. Hear that? A furious man cannot be justified. For the sway of his fury shall be his destruction. Hear that? A furious man cannot be justified. For the sway of his fury shall be his destruction. You're going to be destroyed by his fury. What the Most High say, wait you upon me. Are you more powerful than the Most High? Till he rise up to the prey. Say, a patient man will bear for a time. I mean, that's what patience deal with, time. You got to wait. And afterward, joy shall spring up upon him. You hear that? A patient man will bear his for a time. And afterward, you being patient, not being so eager and so quick to be angry and furious and wanting to bring forth wrath, that you end up getting destruction upon yourself, but being patient, which is dealing with a certain period of time, waiting, will bear for a time. Long suffering, like the Most High, long suffering. And afterward, joy shall spring up to him. You hear that? You follow these orders, joy gonna be upon you. He will hide his words for a time, and the lips of many shall declare his wisdom. You hear that? You're gonna hide his words for a time, meaning all the time. You don't have to bring forth everything that you know. Hide his words for a time. That's why you got to know when it's the correct time to speak and when it's not to speak. Better to listen. You're going to hide his words for a time, and the lips of many shall declare his wisdom. Because he's going to be able to bring it forth. But if not, then he's going to spew out all that he know and be hated. Because he's not humble. And he's not following the way of the Most High. He's giving us guidelines to avoid us being in pride. But it seems like the world, that's what it elevates, being prideful. That's why we have to look at this word for what it's saying. Make that change. Make that change. Look what it says. Ecclesiasticus 32 and 7. It says, speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. When you among elders, let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth, and yet holdeth his tongue. That take discipline. The spirit of discipline. Be as one that knoweth, but yet holdeth his tongue. If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, the elders, use not many words, it's saying. But people talk to elders like they're just on the same page as them. You done taught them, but now we all the same. He said, when you be in the place of great men, make not thyself equal with them. And when ancient men are in place, use not many words. See? Verse 14, speaking of discipline. Whoso feareth the Most High will receive his discipline. If you fear the Most High, you're going to hear what this word is saying, and you're going to practice this discipline. You will receive his discipline. And they that seek him early shall find him, shall find favor. You seek him early, you're going to find favor. He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith. But the hypocrite, those that are not going to follow the Most High's law, but talk a good talk, but not doing what he say do, will be offended thereat. See? The hypocrite going to be offended at what is coming out, pertaining to being angry. They that fear the Most High shall find judgment, and shall kindle justice as a light. A sinful man will not be reproved. See, all you that's out there that's sinful, you can't receive this. You can't be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. Hear that? You're going to find an excuse according to your will. But go through these scriptures that's being brought out and make it mean something different. That's not boasting at all, because I'm serious about it. Because we can't use one scripture and say this is where we got to be. We got to be according to all that's written here. A man of counsel, and this is what this is, counsel, will be considerate. But a strange and proud man is not dogged with fear. They don't fear the Most High. They don't fear what this word is saying. Or a woman, she ain't gonna fear what this word is saying. Even when of himself he has done without counsel. Even though you have done whatever you want to do according to your own vain opinion, and then allow Satan as an evil suspicion to overthrow your judgment. Do nothing without advice. And when thou hast once done, repent not. You see? Verse 23. In every good work, trust thy own counsel. But the only way a good work is you following the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High rules and regulations. Because see, the law was our schoolmaster, it says, to bring us to a Mashiach Yahushua who did not know sin. Did no sin. In every good work, trust thine own soul. For this is the keeping of the commandments. It can't get no clearer than that. Trust your own soul to keep the Most High's rules and regulations. He that believeth in the Most High taketh heed to the commandment, and he that trusteth in him shall fare never the worse. See? Ecclesiastes 33:1. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Most High, that's afraid and scared of the Most High, respect him, and do what he say do. But in temptation, even again, he will deliver him. See? You say, even though the devil come after you, Most High said, I'm going to deliver you. A wise man hateth not the law. So an ignorant man, a man that's in gross darkness, gross ignorance, hate the law. But a wise man hateth not the law. But he that is an hypocrite, therein is a ship in a storm. You wavering this way, that, you know, ship in a storm go way up in the air, then comes down. But it was telling you about him being in a ship of the Navy. Thought he was going to die. So that ship was going in waves, going up over 60 feet. Just, whoo, taking him way up and coming down, whoo, slamming down on him. That's what he say. A hypocrite is. Therein is as a ship in a storm. A man of understanding trusteth in the law, and the law is faithful unto him as an oracle. See? That's why it tells you. What Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter. Don't allow Satan, the devil, to have advantage of you. But understand this. Ecclesiastes 2:1, it said, my son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare. You got to prepare when you come to serve the Most High. Thy soul for temptation. You got to prepare yourself for the devil. Just like when Mashiach Yahushua, you read Matthew the 4th chapter and Luke the 4th chapter, when Mashiach Yahushua fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, who came there tempting them? The devil. So when you come to serve the Most High, prepare thyself for the devil, because the devil already had you. He still got some of you. You got to release him. How many times you rebuke the devil today? You rebuke him at all today. On your own. Rebuke the devil, he shall flee. But you don't run from them laws of the Most High. Play them laws in your house. You ain't got to be concerned about them being around. That's what Mashiach Yahushua used. He went to the law every time. In Matthew the 4th chapter. In Luke the 4th chapter. It said, set thy heart aright. Set your mind aright with what you've heard. And constantly endure. And make not haste in time of trouble. Don't run in the time of trouble. Where you going to run? That you're going to run from the sky? You going to run from the Most High? I don't think so. Cleave unto him. He said, cleave unto him and depart not away. Cleave unto the Most High and depart not away. Don't run in the time of trouble. Cleave more to the Most High in the time of trouble. And this is time of our trouble. Yasharallah, what we got to do? Cleave to the Most High and depart not away. That thou mayest be increase at thy last end. That we got next forever and ever and ever. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. So you ain't angry if you're going to be cheerful. He said, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. And be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Hear that? Be patient. That's still dealing with that time, y'all. When you brought to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Said a furnace of affliction when you read Isaiah 48:10. Gonna be dipped in the fiery furnace of affliction. To try us, to make us as fine gold, as he's saying. Say, believe in him, have faith in him, the Most High, and he will help thee. He's gonna help you. Order thy way aright. He would say, order your way aright and trust in him. Hear that? Trust in the Most High. Ye that fear the Most High, wait for his mercy. Mercy is not getting something you deserve to get. You fear the Most High, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. You see? You gotta have patience. Wait is patience. Wait for him. Or you're gonna fall. You can't pray to the Most High and then have doubt that what you prayed for not existing is not gonna happen. You that fear the Most High, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. You that fear the Most High, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Oh yeah. Look at the generation of old. We say, look at the generation of old. It was written for us. The whole Bible was written for us. And see, did ever any trust in the Most High? It was confounded, confused. They trusted the Most High, it was confused. Where? You answer the question. You answer the question. Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Why fear the Most High is very important. Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him in righteousness? For the Most High is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction. See? He gonna save you in time of affliction. This is where we at now. We're in the time of Jacob's trouble. So, you cannot be this way and think that the Most High is gonna be with you when you are angry all the time. And you're using it as a cloak or malicious against the enemies and your brothers and sisters. But that's what people are doing. You got to give brothers and sisters a time to come in and learn the word of the Most High through the precepts, get an understanding, and don't be angry. Or you're going to fulfill the things that the Most High has said. You know, Hebrews 10:31 says, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. And what about if they're one of them little ones of the children of Israel? And you have taken the time to offend one of them little ones. He said, you might as well tie a noose around your neck in a great millstone and cast it into the sea than to offend one of them little ones. Remember, don't forget, there was one, he said, come and work in the field. They worked in the field 11 hours. All the way down to one that he came to and said, come and work for me. He offered the one that worked 11 hours a penny. He offered the one that came in last a penny. Come in and work. So he's in their field working. And he came. He said, pay the one that only worked an hour first. It was in just a short period of time. They got paid first. Then the next one got paid. The next one got paid. The one that's worked all these years, all this time, all these 11 hours, which are really years when you look at it in retrospect of being in the truth. He called them last and gave them the same amount that he gave the one that only worked an hour, a penny. See, that's what you said you're going to work for. Can't I do what I want to do with my money? I told you that's what I'm going to give you. That's what I'm going to give you. But they felt offended because they felt that they should have got more because the one that only worked a little time got the same penny. That's why I say first shall be last and last shall be first. So a lot of you following the same way as the first and you're the last. Think on that. And with that, I say all praise to the Most High by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, and I'm out.